In this lesson, we are going to cover a very important small word, and in English, that word is the. Now, if I ask you, which photograph here shows a person, you'd answer both. If I were to ask you, which photograph here shows the person, you wouldn't be able to answer because the assumes a specific person. So the word the in English is what we call the definite marker. And here are some examples of words both in the indefinite and in the definite form. So in English, we might say a frog or simply frog. That could refer to any frog. But when we say the frog, then it means we have a particular frog in mind. Similarly, an indefinite, a heroine. But if we're speaking about one particular one, we would say the heroine. And finally, an email, indefinite, versus the definite, the email. Now, in English, we add a separate word, the, to make things definite. A city in Italy is any unspecified city in Italy. The city of Florence is a specific city in Italy. In Hebrew, things work a little bit differently. So in Hebrew, if you want to make a noun definite, we attach the letter he onto the front of a noun, and that makes it definite. So here you can see three indefinite nouns: melech, king; na'ara, young woman; and bayit, house. But in these cases, now to the right, notice that we have added a he to the front of each of those words, and that makes these words definite. So ha-melech is the king, ha-na'ara, the young woman, ha-bayit, the house. Now, in most kind of Hebrew schools and in just kind of common Hebrew introduction and instruction, this is about the most that people learn. You put a he in front of a noun, and that makes it definite. But there's actually a little more to it. So the full formula is our first step, yes, adding the he in front of the word. But then notice that under the he, there is a particular vowel, the patach vowel. So in order for the he to act as a definite marker, it must have the vowel patach under it. And then finally, one more aspect to the full formula. Notice that there is a dagesh, or a dot, in the mem, the first letter of the word melech. That is also needed. So the full formula is a he with a patach vowel under the he, and with a dagesh, or a dot, added to the first letter of the word. By the way, a dagesh, this dot, is found in a number of letters, and we'll get to these in a later lesson. So here are some examples for you to look at. Ha-melech, the king; ha-melachim, the kings; ha-ben, the son or child; ha-banim, the sons, the children; ha-davar, the word; ha-devarim, the words. Notice in each case there's a he with a patach and a dagesh in the first letter of the word. Here are some vocabulary words that are coming up in this lesson's vocabulary list, and this is just to give you a little bit of preview. And you may know some of these words. The first word, ha-mishpacha. means the family. Halev means the heart. Habat means the daughter, and you may recognize bat from the term bat mitzvah. Hashem means the name, and hakol means the voice or sound. And this word becomes particularly interesting in texts like the Sinai narrative, where the community at the base of the Sinai mountain hears a kol, hears these kolot. And it's not clear whether what they are perceiving are just overwhelming sounds, like just a lot of noise, or whether they're actually hearing the voice of God. And that really is a matter of interpretation. Now, of course, by now you should know that there's always a variation on the rule. So, if we've said that a definite marker must put in a dagesh in the first letter of the word, then we would expect, as you can see here in the first line, to have something like this. Hey, patach, ayin with a dagesh. Hey, patach, resh with a dagesh. Or hey, patach, aleph with a dagesh. Now, here's the problem. Guttural letters are dagesh phobic. They are very strongly non-assimilationist, and so they will refuse to take the dagesh. They're going to reject the dagesh because they're gutturals, and they will just reject it. And so if the guttural won't change by adapting itself and letting itself take on a dagesh, well, then the vowel is going to change since the guttural won't. And you can see then the vowel changes from a patach to a kamatz. Here's an example of why vowels matter, right? So in this example, we have a short vowel, patach, lengthening because a consonant, the guttural letter, can't do its job. So just for a quick geek moment, guttural letters never take a dagesh. If a dagesh is called for, the previous vowel will end up taking the load. This means that the vowel is taking on the load by lengthening. And this phenomenon that we will find in a number of Hebrew situations, this is called compensatory lengthening, where the vowel is lengthening to compensate for something that the consonant cannot do. So here are a few vocabulary words that you have encountered already, and each of these begins with a guttural. So you can notice that in each of these cases, the hey has a kamatz under it, and the first letter of the word, being a guttural, refuses to take a dagesh. So, haaretz, the land. Ha'ir, the city. Ha'isha, the woman. Ha'am, the nation. And ha'em, the mother. And hopefully some of these words are beginning to get absorbed into your mind. So let's look at an example. We are back here to Deuteronomy 6:1. And in this case, I want you to look at the three nouns in white and try to identify each of these nouns as either definite or indefinite. So is it the something or a something? So take a moment. You may want to pause the video, and when you're ready, come back and we'll work through it together. All right, so our first word, ha-mitzvah. Notice the hey with the patach, the dagesh in the mem, so this is going to mean the commandment. The next word, hachukim. So here we know we have a plural from our im. This is also definite, but notice here, because the chet is a guttural, the hey will come with a kamatz as compensatory lengthening for the fact that the chet will not take a dagesh. And then in our final noun, ha-mishpatim, so now we know that this is a masculine plural noun, and we have the definite marker, the hey, the patach, and a dagesh in the mem.